And next up on my Steam library, I'm playing Killer is Dead. Killer is Dead is a action hack and slash. It's made by a Japanese designer called Suda51. Some of you may know, he's a pretty famous Japanese designer. The last thing I played of his was on Xbox 360, a game called Lollipop Chainsaw, which was pretty crazy. He's pretty well known for being a really surreal game designer, really strange visuals and batshit mental plots and characters and that. And Killer is Dead is exactly along those lines. It's absolutely mental. It's got a really nice style to it, a really nice anime looking style, but with a colour palette that's not as in your face and as bright and sharp. It's quite washed out. It's almost like it's painted watercolors sort of style. It's got everything you expect of like a Japanese designed action hack and slash. It's got over the top characters. It's got crazy enemies, massive mental bosses, sexy women, great combat, loads of bits to collect in the levels, an upgrade system that can for your weapons, and some moves. Its combat isn't as detailed as some other Japanese action games you probably played, like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry. It's not as deep as that. It doesn't have like long strings of combos that can be linked together, so that when you look at the moves list, it's the move, you know, there aren't pages and pages of moves that you have to memorize that involve like half a dozen button presses or controller inputs each. It's got a pretty simple actual combat. It's just like an attack with your katana, a dodge, or an attack with your arm that can be a gun and various other weapons as well. So it's only got a few little combos and things that can be strung together, but it's still really good fun. The combat is really enjoyable, slicing up the enemies. There's loads of gore, bits of enemies chopped off, and that kind of thing. So it's good, satisfying combat, even if it's not quite as deep as some of the other action games that are around. But the one thing it's got that lots of other Japanese games have as well, and is my biggest dislike of Japanese games, is cutscenes. Cutscenes and cutscenes and cutscenes and cutscenes. Absolutely loads of them. And quite long ones sometimes as well. It's forever taking you out of the action, taking you out of that good combat that you're enjoying to show you a little cutscene. It seems quite unnecessary to me, but it's a trope in Japanese games. Japanese game designers seem to love it, throwing cutscenes in. I timed it once from clicking to start a mission, and to the time I actually clicked start in the mission to the time I actually got control of the character and can actually start playing, was like, in some missions it was 5 or 6 minutes. Not all of them were that long, but even the shortest ones were still like 3 minutes. This is all like intro cutscene for each mission, intro telling you what you're doing, and which is all very well, you know, you like a bit of background for each mission, you know, what you're doing, who you're going after, and progressing the story and that, but 5 or 6 minutes worth for each mission is way too much, in my opinion, and it's unnecessary. It doesn't need to be done, but that's what the Japanese designers love. And during the missions, quite often you're taken out of in the middle of combat, just after some combat, to see a cutscene as well. Just maybe a shorter one, maybe a minute or 30 seconds, but it's something I don't like. I think it just breaks the flow of the gameplay. But yeah, it's what Japanese game designers do. But when you are playing, the combat is really good. It's really enjoyable. So at least it's got good gameplay when it lets you play. Its full price is $14.99. I wouldn't say it's worth that much. I completed it on the easy difficulty setting in just under 6 hours. I swear, if you took the cutscenes out, it'd probably like run about 4 hours. So I would say not worth $14.99, but probably worth half that. If you in a sale for 50% off, that's definitely worth that. So that's Killer is Dead, a batshit mental Japanese action hack and slash with loads of cutscenes but decent combat when it lets you play.